Voters over 60 years old are coveted by campaigns because they show up in high numbers to cast their ballots. More than 70% of older Americans have voted in presidential general elections since 2004. Older voters have typically favored the Republican Party and, not surprisingly, they cite Social Security payments to senior citizens and Medicare, the U.S. health care program for seniors, as important issues. Older voters are key to the campaign of Republican candidate Donald Trump. Eleanor Clift is a columnist for the Daily Beast and has covered presidential elections since the 1970s.
They want to make sure their benefits continue, and Trump is aware of that. Unlike many Republicans in the past, he's not talking about trimming Medicare.
But polling suggests Kamala Harris, the Democratic nominee, is doing better with older voters than past Democrats.
It's interesting that abortion has become a major issue for seniors, who you hear a lot of women saying, my daughter and my granddaughter have fewer rights over their bodies than I had. And I think that's responsible for some of that drift towards the Democrats.
Voters between 30 and 60 are harder to draw conclusions about. They are generally evenly split between Democrats and Republicans. The biggest challenge for campaigns is engaging young voters, those 30 and younger, who have typically voted at levels between 40 and 50% since 2004. Key issues for young voters include the economy and job opportunities, climate change, gun violence, and the war in Gaza. Compared to older voters, younger voters are less likely to watch debates, read conventional newspapers and websites, or see political ads on television. Reaching them means using social media.
Gen Z and millennials in particular are more drawn to visual storytelling. So you're seeing a heavy reliance on short form video, which is something that is inherent within those platforms.
Young voters tend to heavily favor Democrats, so getting them out to the polls is a major goal of the Harris campaign. That means engaging with online influencers and securing major pop culture endorsements.
Taylor Swift, that's a big endorsement for the Democrats because she can encourage voter registration. She can use concerts, or if she does rallies for the Democrats, that's a big recruiting ground.
The Trump campaign is also hoping to attract young voters. Trump has appeared on podcasts popular with young conservatives, particularly young men.
For other young people in this country who are looking to get ahead, what would you say to them?
I would say very simply, honestly, vote for Trump.
For the campaigns, the first challenge with young voters is convincing them to support a candidate. The second challenge is convincing them to actually vote. The campaigns and outside groups are spending millions to register young voters and get them to the polls. Jim Spellman, CGTN, Washington.